Okay. It's all right. So I'm late. Must have hit the wrong button or something. So, Karina, good morning to you. Daryl, how you doing, buddy? Okay. So, where are we? Sorry, I was just changing. I noticed we'd had an Apex offer. They tend to do them right before the streams or right before main chart opening. So then I got to swap and change a few things. So, I'll tell you about them in a bit anyway. You can't see them on there, but they've got a low. Well, they've upped the valuation, but dropped the live PA fee to $6, which is great if you pass it, not so good if you don't. But there you go. So, market is open, generally low volume overnight. We've just ranged a little bit. We have had a break new high. I did look at this short here. Thought a low high might be better, but there was still a lot of orders up here. There was 3 lots of sell orders up here, so you don't know whether we're going to push up and then push up again, do you? So not really much I can do here. There are orders at 77, some sell orders at 77, so I wouldn't really be thinking about going along here, but there are buyers down at 72, which is there, which is below that bar and that bar. So that bullish bar's triggered, that bullish bar's triggered. So I'm quite confident price will drop below those two, but well, there you go. So there are some at 70, which is there. Boom, straight to those as well. So there you go. So 2 legs back. So is this now going to move up? There's not much in the way of orders here down below now. Most of the orders are up high. So maybe we get 2 bounces and push up. It's hard to say, really. There's a lot around the 71, 72 mark, which is kind of there and there. So maybe this thing might turn up. It's hard to say at the moment. We have got a little bit more aggressive sellers here. So we'll see. I've got to give it a bit of space anyway to figure out what it wants to do. So, Little Hammer, how you doing, bud? Armanas, how you doing, matey? So I can see one trader got caught there, went long on a limit order around about here, actually. I won't show you it is, just show you the trade. Clearly see it. He's got it on a limit order there, I'm assuming. And he got stopped out there, so I won't show you it is. It's not fair, really, is it? I thought there may be some traders going there, but I could see these orders down here, too dangerous, and then down we came. So, Jeffrey, how you doing, buddy? So, channel break, small new high, and we seem to be coming down. Maybe testing this out. It's a bit hard to say. The trouble is, when there's not much volume overnight, it's hard to kind of get a real grasp of what I think's going on. What I will say is, if I have the 10,000 tick chart up here, if I look back here, we're pretty much doing this. Something like that, really. We've broke above there. We've had a channel up there with a break. We broke above there. So I wouldn't be shocked now if price does come down at least to the midline, possibly lower. So this is just the overall price over 1, 2, 3. Basically this week, overall price. You can see it's come up to the top, down at the bottom, and it's just literally weaving up and down. We didn't quite get up to the top there. We came down, but we've been in a channel here, which has had a break and a new high, as you can see. So if I was to take a guess, my guess it would probably come test the lows, but that is just based on what it's been doing. Whether it'll do that is a completely different story. But I just use that as just to give me maybe a slightly bigger picture of where price is overall going. Russell, how you doing, buddy? Let's have a look. So, leg down, new break, 2 legs up. Is this coming down? It's hard to say. I can see orders there. About 71. So I think this is probably going to come up a little bit. There are orders at 77. There are some at 75. But as I say, it's not super clear. So we've got a channel out there with a break and a new high. See, a lot of the times it'll trigger that and push up and stop it out. You know, these levels on a book map are really accurate, but they don't always work. But they certainly work, I'd say, 80% of the time. So it can at least help you stay on the right on the right side of the market. Put it that way. Channel break, new high. Now, is there any type of channel down there? It's possible. It's maybe a bit too early. I will say it is working around the midline, but the trouble is if you trust that, you may be looking to go short here, which might not be the best idea. But excuse me a sec. Trouble is when you're near Christmas, we've got parcels coming every day, so the doors constantly going, the dogs are constantly barking. Referring to the trade show on Thomas Wayne the School. Archer, what have I missed? Russell Archer, 90%. Not sure what that means there, but that's right. On Joe's stream. I do like to catch up with what people are doing. He's having a bit of trouble lately, Joe. He seems to have changed his strategy for some reason, which is surprising. I thought he did okay on Mac's strategy. I really did. 71 those orders, which are about there. So I wouldn't channel break new high. Wouldn't be the worst trade in the world, go short there. But the trouble is, Bookmap's showing me there are orders up there. So unless they're aggressive sellers selling that, I'd stay away there. Referring to the trade show on Thomas Wayne's Discord trade show. I'm on his Discord here. I'm not sure what you mean there. Trade show. Oh, you mean the trade I just shown? Oh, gotcha. Oh, you think it's Archer? Ah, okay. I didn't show his name because I thought it was a bit unfair. But I'm assuming somebody knew, didn't they? I didn't really pay much attention to his name. I just saw it and dragged it in just as. There's nothing there, Wilson. Nothing there, lad. Never triggered anyway. Never triggered on here either, luckily. So orders up here. About 77. That's them. Let's get rid of that. So that's gone. Let's get rid of that one as well. So their orders at 77. So keep popping up. That's the trouble. Some at 72.5, around about 73, about there. There's some there. There's a bunch just below there, and there's some. Now there's some at 55, which is down here. So my guess is this is probably, based on what I'm seeing, going to work up. So I'm just going to remove that. It was just a kind of a, I'm just wondering if there is another channel working up here. It's possible. I would like that to push a bit higher through that order and then come down and test this. But what I can see orders up here, this thing looks like it could work up. So look at that 10,000 tick chart quickly. We've had this channel up. We've had a break. One push up. We may get a second attempt to go high. It's hard to say, really, or this thing could come down. No idea. See what happens here. See if this does. But as I say, there's lots of orders up there from 72 and up all around this whole area, which is telling me price is likely to work up. But if you get aggressive sellers, as we know, that changes the dynamics. Woof. Okay. That I didn't expect. So you see those aggressive sellers all of a sudden, it went into 14 million, and there was 3 times the amount of aggressive sellers there. You could see them pushed up. Now, the good thing about this is when I see the move here, if I look left, because this book map through YouTube is about 3 seconds behind, I can see the move there and see the jump in aggressive selling there, or the imbalance, rather, I think is fair to say. So it's quite good, that is. You see the move and then you can see the numbers change. So a lot of these orders are faded a bit now. There's still some at 77, but they're not as strong. 55, there's some down here. So is price coming down to test these lows? It looks like it. You may call that a move down with a correction and another move down. If we can get a second entry short here, based on what I'm seeing down here, I think this may come down, but let me just do this. Maybe there is something like that. It's hard to say. Touch, 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 touch. We came off the top. We didn't get down to the bottom and we had a break. So that may be valid. It's hard to say, but we have got a touch. We've got 3 nice touches and it's working along the midline. We've had 2 legs up the top. We've come off the top, but we haven't got down the bottom. And whenever we don't get down the bottom, we lose momentum. More often than not, we have a break. And we've had 2 kind of little legs up and then a strong move down. So my guess is that price is likely now to work down. Let me have a look here. There is some support there, so we've got to be a little bit gentle there. I would need a really strong second entry here to get me into this. We haven't quite made the lows there, but there are some strong orders down there. What's this? Let's remove that. There are orders at 60, which is right below that bull bar there. And then 55 down here, right at the lows. That's interesting. We've come down towards that support area and had a really strong bounce. I don't know whether this is valid, to be honest with it. It's a little bit early, but it does touch 4 times, and it doesn't look too bad around the midline. It's hard to say, really. See if we get a second entry short here. I don't think it's going to come up, is it? I'm pretty confident it's going to come down. As I say, you can see those orders. There's 200 odd contracts down there, which is more in one lump sum at a price and anywhere I can see at the moment. So, but I think it may need the help of some aggressive sellers here. So I'd like a little bounce up, a couple of legs up here and then drop strongly, but it may just go straight down. Who knows? Regardless of what this is doing, we've had a kind of a correction there anyway, so it is coming down, I think, by the looks of things. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't have a little second entry there, because that would have interested me. So, I mean, depends what you think of this, but unless you could see those orders down there, you wouldn't necessarily have an idea where price could go. This is telling you where it's been and where it's been, before, but you really wouldn't necessarily know. I can see that down there, so my guess is price is going to come down towards it. So based on that, I can look for an entry, and that would give me the confidence that, price is going down to where these stronger buyers are. But unless you were looking at this, you wouldn't have a clue. So that would be one leg down with a correction and 2 legs down. Based on what I'm seeing here, I don't think there's a doubt that this is, well, I'm pretty confident that this is going to hit price. Now, it may have a little pullback in the meantime. That's always a possibility. But I'll be quite confident price is going to get down there. Let me just remove this a minute. This would need to get right up there, really, to get me in. I'm just not interested in that. There's not enough room to the lows. It's 11 ticks. It ain't finished yet. I think that'll finish a little bit lower. So 12 ticks, tick above, tick below. Just doesn't interest me, really. It would have to push up here. It may trigger, push up and stop those outs. But for me, this would have to break out of here, push through there, and finish bearish on there. I'm hoping it breaks below that bearish bar, pushes up and triggers them out, because that will be. It may not, because I know we got strong orders down here. I was hoping it would. We may get a second entry, and then we'll have that final push down there, and possibly lower to that. Possibly lower to that measured move, comfortably breaking the overnight lows. So there are some orders at 62.5, which is there. Not a huge amount, but my guess is that they're going to grow. Because as I say, wanting to short this, it would have to push up there and drop bearish. So fell break out of that little range. So keep an eye on that 62.5 level. It's kind of, I don't know, light bluish at the moment. But my guess is that may thicken up if price doesn't go down anymore. Maybe too late there. So well, there we go. So that did what I expected. See, it's about 3 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds behind here. You can see the move then. So this did what I expected it to do based on what I could see. So if you can get an entry there and you can see really strong buy orders down here, there's a really good chance price is going to go down to this level. So if you can get a second entry here, your profits here, you may think, in fact, I'm going to hold on a little bit longer. If it's a strong enough position up here, chances are that'll be the straw that breaks the camel's back to get down to this level. So, if you get a bearish bar right up there and maybe the bottom of it's here, there's a potential for 5 points and possibly more if you got the balls down to this measured move. So, but I'm putting all these levels here and most of them are being hit. So you can, it's a really good plus to have this book map because it really does give you an idea, because when you're around here, you haven't really got a clue where price is going. really, because it's very choppy. So, but what I can see is this leg down. It's down a bit sideways, and then a drop, and then we got two clear legs up. Bit of a correction. I'm expecting a good chance of a measured leg anyway, which we've got, and then based on, I think it's probably near right to the tick actually. So near enough. Yeah, I mean, we're literally a tick off that. Two nice legs down. Leg down with a nice correction, leg down. It's kind of like a really kind of a clear move, that. So while we're doing a bit of sideways here at this level, which you'd kind of expect, you can see there's some support there. So I get the bouncing. But that's where I'd be interested in a pullback. Pick up these orders that you could see there at 62.5. They weren't super strong, maybe not enough to drag price up. But if it got up there, that would be a good place to go short. Fail break out of this and then down clearly to that and possibly to that if you decided you wanted to wait a bit. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a bit of a move up here and then ended up having a bigger overall move down. It's a bit early yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. Look where that's touched there. In fact, that'll work even better because if I take that from there and put it on top of there, look how nice this is fitting. And based on this overall 10,000 tick chart we looked at, we're going from the bottom to the top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, and a little bit higher, a little bit overshoot. Where's price more likely to go? Down here. And what's happening at the moment? Price is coming down. So, a decent pullback at this midline could, possibly give us an entry. So you can clearly see what's going on, can't you? And generally you'd expect, with an overshoot, you'd expect a bigger pullback. So maybe it's going to come down and clear these areas. Who knows? That's kind of, call it a educated guess, but educated might be a little bit of a strong word for me, but there you go. But, we get a couple of legs up or something, maybe test this area or this bit of support we had here. And I think there's a chance this thing may go down, but, I'm going to kill the colour for that. So it's an area of interest as opposed to a sure thing. But the way we've bounced there, here, and the two touches, I don't think, I think it's worth paying attention to, put it that way. So we've got sell orders up here somewhere. So 70, that's a bit high for me, and 72 and a half ish. So right at this level. So if we get to here, it could be a break. It's hard to say at the moment. This is. I certainly wouldn't trade based on this at the moment. I just like to have a bit of an idea if I've got nothing. So little channel with a break and a new high. There's still some orders around the 62 level and a half, which is kind of in the right area, but you've really got to wait for that confirmation to go short. I'd have liked to have seen some. So, pretty sure that's a VWAP, isn't it, at 65? That bounced a couple of days ago, didn't it? Nice. Was that yesterday? Bounced really nice, that did. So that can play a part sometimes. 65, that's there. So if we get a nice second entry, a lower high after bouncing on that and the top of the channel, that might be a good indication. So channel break, new high, bearish bar. I'm sitting and waiting at the moment. I do like the way we've bounced off some support, which is encouraging, but the bar's a fair old size, and I'm not taking a chance that this might not trigger and push up to the top here. It's huge anyway, really. See, one may argue, I think that's a break and a new low, but you may argue that Maybe it's not, and maybe this is 2 legs up. We come down and face the lows, but I'm sitting tight here because it's not clear for me. Especially with the size of that bar. It's humongous. Okay, excuse me just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Uh, hmm. So, So that measured leg worked out nice for sure. I'd like to get a couple of legs up here to this area. I still like that, so I'm just going to leave that there, but without the colour. That I'm not a fan of. It's played out anyway, so. No, the Vlad video was streamed from his own. I'll show you. The Vlad, that's it. That's where Vlad was streamed from there, from his Vladdy Teacher Price action from there. I started a Discord a while back, quite a long time ago, to be fair. But we're just getting spam left, right, and centre. I don't know much about it, really, so I just stopped it in the end. But no, it was streamed from his own Discord channel there. I asked him actually. I asked Marco to ask him if it was okay if I post it as a video on my YouTube channel, because I was getting a lot of messages asking me if I recorded it. I say a lot, 3 or 4, and I recorded it for people, because obviously some people were in different parts of the world and weren't kind of available at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I recorded it, and then I asked if I could post it on my channel from so other traders can see it. But yeah, that's where it was originally posted. If you do want to listen to it, it is on my YouTube channel as a video. It is long; it's 4 hours, and there's a lot of chit chat here and there. So it's there if you want anyway. But as I say, it's 4 hours, so be prepared to to put your feet up. Yes, he does, bud. I don't know how to get a link to it. someone messaged me about an hour ago, and I said put a post on the Marco's Facebook group. Marco's a friend of his; he'll know. But I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I linked up to it. Marco sent me a link. I think it was the day that he was doing this video. But he did say that when he gets it, see, he's doing a paid version where you can. I think he's going to trade live on a Friday. He did say anyway. So whether he does or not, I don't know. But which is $50. But I believe it's limited to 100 places. So he did say he doesn't know how he's going to deal with that. Whether there is 100 people or not, I don't know. He has got some people on here already, so I didn't realise how long this thing's been going, but I did put. Yeah, he said here. I messaged him and I said that when it is up, let me know. He said we're working on it, but want to make absolutely sure that that is. I think it kind of manages the subscriptions or something or other. But he said it's limited to 100 spots, so I don't know how he's going to sort of do that. I mean, is he going to have 100? I don't know. Maybe he'll have a lot more. It's kind of hard to say, but that's $50. Will I say $50? He's actually, yeah, I suppose it will be. I'm going to say he's actually in Bulgaria, so I don't know whether, but he is American anyway, so yeah, I'm assuming he's just automatically referring to dollars. Okay, so we got orders there at 60, which is there, which may be a triple test. Not a bad place. You can see why there's going to be some entries there. I think it's fair to say it's kind of a rangy bit, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3. There is a triple test there. I would wait. With these orders up here, I would wait. And if we can get like a second entry up here, testing this top here, we've come off the bottom. We didn't quite get on there, but we're going sideways. If we can get a couple of legs up, we may get a good push down. We've definitely got orders down here at 50, which are below these lows. So if we can get a decent push out of here, we're clearly going sideways. Clearly, if we can get a decent second entry off here, I would take that. You can argue there's a triple test there. For me, it's too early. I would have to wait here. Excuse me. See, having a quick glance at this. Top. Literally come on the throat. It's had a bit of an overshoot there, so we pull back, have a little pull back. If you look there, we've got orders at 60, which is right there, and this is on the bigger chart. So that, to me, when we get back to that EMA 60, we've pushed down, pulled down. That wouldn't be terrible, I don't think. If you're looking at this is kind of where you would think price may get to, and it wouldn't be a bad place to short that because we've had a break of this channel. So he pushes to a new high. So it does look like it's coming down. Now, whether it pushes straight out the bottom or whether it comes up and gives us a chance again, but you can clearly see what's going on. And then once you get that overshoot, overshoots can result in reversals, a bigger correction. That doesn't look like a correction to me. That looks like a channel. So it looks like it's reversing to me. So for me, if we can get a little bit of a push up here or to these sellers up here, that would interest me in taking a short there. Total BS. What I've just said. Is that what you're talking about? What I've just said? Or you're on about Vlad's thing? I hope my description of where price is going to go, I hope you didn't think that was BS. If it is, I apologise. I have a sneaking feeling you might be talking about Vlad's Discord, I think. I hope so. I'm pretty sure he's talking about that. Not you. I thought as much. I just happened to read it just after I'd finished speaking, so I thought, oh dear, maybe I've upset you. I hope this doesn't push out the bottom. I was hoping it would pull up here first. Push down into it. I expect to drop out the bottom. I was hoping we were going to get a little bell break out the top, but look straight down, unfortunately. That's a shame. Never mind. Yeah, he's definitely an acquired taste, isn't he? He's definitely an acquired taste. He's not for everybody. I get that. Yeah, I absolutely get that. Okay, so we did push down and hit that 50 level. And then we had some buyers. Now, whether this is just a breakout pullback and it's going to continue down, I'm not so sure. I like this channel here. So for me, it would have to get up here before I took a short. You know, I'm not a fan of the breakout pullback type stuff. If all this was right tight here, then that wouldn't be so bad. Most annoying thing about prop firm rules is the 5 days. You talking about Take Profit Trader? They're the only ones I know with 5 days, I think. 5 days trading. You're on about the evaluations? 8. Okay, you're on about in general, I think, aren't you? 8 days. Just lost those 3 accounts, did you? Was it you were talking to me last night, wasn't it? Was it you were talking to me last night? Who was talking to me last night? It was you. Okay. Yeah, as soon as you said that, because I thought, what was a different name there? Yeah. Look, mate, don't give yourself a hard time about it. I really wouldn't. Yeah. It's not easy, this, and you are going to take a lot of losses. So I can't stress enough, just stick to one at a time. Because if you start trading multiple accounts, or especially copying multiple accounts, if you make a bad trade or you blow an account, you copy it to your others. Yeah, I can't stress enough, mate. Only ever have one evaluation. Only ever have one PA. Because I promise you now, all you're going to do is go through way more money than you need to, and you're going to make your journey painful. And you don't want to get yourself into financial difficulty. I can tell you now, this can financially cripple people. It can. So you've really got to keep an eye on how much you spend. And I'm telling you that out of experience because I know how much I've got through. So just get one at a time. There's no point in risking more until you can trade. When you can start to make money, that's the time to increase it. Think about it. It really makes sense. I know some streamers and all that are trying to encourage people to get as many as you can, but I've said from day one, it's important to go down the prop firm road because it's cheap and it gives you some experience of what it's like to have a little bit on the table, a little bit of risk. Because if you just trade on a sim, I would say get onto a sim for 3 to 6 months. I used to say 12 months, but I would say 3 to 6 months, and then get yourself one evaluation a month, $30 odd. Most people can afford that. And then just play the game properly. And if you can get it to a PA, then you deserve to have a PA. But if you do what most do, certainly what I did, you take gambles until you get it to a PA, because you want to say to yourself, yeah, I got it to a PA. But all you're going to do then is pay a bunch more money to get to a PA, and then you're going to blow it. So you're just going to increase the amount of money you've lost. So trust me, one evaluation, don't try and get it to a PA account. Just use it as experience of what it feels like to have some skin in the game, and then just trade properly. You know what I mean? Sit and wait for a trade. If you think it's a trade, take it. It doesn't matter whether it wins or loses, but it'll teach you when you. That is so tempting. But I'm just going to leave this just at the moment. There's two little legs up, but you can argue they're not broad enough. You can argue that that's one channel. So I'm going to leave this just in case, because there are orders up here anyway. It got very close to them at 60, but I'm leaving here because it's not clear. Not only that, if this is a channel, we are coming away. As you you can see we're coming away. So are we doing this? It's hard to say, but this isn't clear for me. So the best thing for me to do is just to stay out. Is it going to work? Probably, maybe. I don't care, because it's not right for me. So you've got to get to that stage where you go, I don't like the trade. It's not clear. Leave it alone and move on. But when you're learning, it's okay to take more trades, because you've got to take lots of different trades. Because when you lose, you know, if I'm looking at this picture now and this loses, once I've done this a few times, and next time I get this kind of picture, because you are invested in this picture, so you will remember it. And if it doesn't go right a few times in a row, you'll get to the stage where you'll go, oh, I don't like this. Something feels off about this. And that is how that learning process goes. I refer to gambling the eval account, then reducing the contract to a few micros to experience a real thing. Yeah. See, all I can tell you from my experience is, do you know what it was? Is I only ever got one account. When I got my first payment, which was about 3 years ago, because it was on the stream actually, just under 3 years ago, I got my one account up to $7,500. I was quite shocked, to be fair. It surprised me. I got a payment, and then I ended up losing it. So then I started to get multiple accounts. The truth is, I got a few decent trades and I got a bit lucky, and I happened to get up there, and that kind of gave me a false sense of security. So I started adding more accounts. Once you add more accounts, it just increases the amount of money you lose, because you're never going to get one PA account and make a fortune from that. It's never going to happen. You're going to blow a bunch of them. I guarantee it happens to every single trader. It's part of the learning process. So the best thing I can tell you is only ever have one evaluation. If you do get it to PA, one PA. If you get 3 payments per month in a row, then you've proved to yourself to pass an account and then get 3 payments every month. You're not going to be lucky to get that. You're going to have had to have a little bit of experience and know what you're doing, really. And that's the time to start adding and making more money. But doing too much in one go, all you're going to do is increase your losses and make your day miserable. Trust me. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'll tell you how it is, because I've been through it and I know what it's like. Keep your spending under control. Otherwise, you're gonna have a miserable time. You really are. I was lucky because I had some evaluation money come in. I probably averaged about $1,000 a month, so I had money to play with. So I was lucky. So I was fortunate enough to have that. So that made my learning experience a lot less damaging than it could be. But I still lost a lot of money. At one point, I'd say I was probably down about $30,000. I would say I broke even probably beginning of this year. Someone told me when you break even as a trader, that's when things start to change. How true that is, I don't know. Should I get a cheap eval or just under one? Mate, if I was you, evals at the moment, so it looks like a good deal, yeah? $78 for an eval, and then $6 for a PA account. If I was you, I wouldn't. I would wait for it to come down to 80% because guarantee over Christmas you're going to get an offer because all you're going to do is spend $78 and blow it. I'm sure of it. So all I would do is just stick on a sim, or maybe use something like Bollinox. I don't know what price they are, but all you want to do is get as cheap as you can just to have that little bit of skin in the game. But I wouldn't pay for you. I wouldn't pay $78. I'd only do that if you're starting to build accounts and you can make a bit of money. Because you don't want to make things miserable, mate. It's an hard journey. It really is. You're profitable with your real account. How long have you been trading for? How long have you been trading for? I didn't think you've been trading long. Just not profitable with props. See, I would think for me, it would be the other way around. You've been trading 10 years? Oh, go for it then. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. You know what you're doing, mate. Do you know why I think you're profitable with your own account but not prop firms? Because when you get an evaluation for $35, you're actually trading with $2,500. And you're watching. Okay. So when you get a prop firm, an Apex, let's say Apex, you pay your $35, and you pass it, you're trading with $2,500. And it's cost you, say, $100. It's cost you, say, $100. So you're risking $100 and you're trading with $2,500. You're going to take more risks. If you were trading with $2,500 in your own account, you are risking $2,500. So you're going to be way more careful. So that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, triple test. So yeah, I mean, if you want to build up, do it. If you've been trading a while, then yeah, I thought you were relatively new, bud. My mistake. Pats. Yeah. Okay. So you've been around for a while now. My honest opinion is all these different strategies, learning the strategy is the easy part. Applying it to the correct context of the market is the bit that takes the time. And you have that learning curve with any strategy. So for me, there's not such thing as an easy strategy. There's many different types of strategies, but they all kind of based around the same, waiting for pullbacks and stuff like this and breakouts. They're all really the same. But when you do a new strategy and you apply it to, you will have some contextual experience of the market. So you won't have that learning curve that a complete beginner. But if you're profitable in your own account, you've obviously got some self-control and some discipline. So, I'd say use your own judgment, mate. Use your own judgment. But if you are blowing lots of accounts at the moment, I'd probably stick to the valuations when they're cheap. I considered that. It looks like a triple test, but as we've had this, I wasn't sure whether it was going to pull up a bit, but look at that. You can't take a loss. Do you know what? I don't think anybody likes taking losses. Some of these professional traders say they don't use emotions, they don't believe. It's a load of crap, mate. Emotions affect everyone. The more experience you get, you're better at controlling it. But I heard an expert say he'd been trading for years and he was also into psychology and he worked for companies going around helping traders. And he said they're just better at managing it. But every single trader, professional or not, will have a limit that they don't cross because they'll, go on tilt or whatever. So, do you know something? Someone's just adjusted that like that, which means that could be in play. It's hard to say, really. The trouble is, tough one. I think that's a small breakout. I'm going to treat it as a small breakout anyway, because that's initially how I had it. So copy trade it with prop funded. Yeah, you can do all that sort of stuff. Still nothing for me. No trades. I can feel I'm getting a lot more patient though. Good on you, Armanas. Good on you, mate. It's a nice feeling, isn't it, when you can sit here patiently? Because you kind of get that experience that I'm actually starting to get somewhere. I mean, you guys have been watching me now for 3 years. I can't tell you how many times I saw the market dumping off and I just sold. And 9 times out of 10, it triggered me, stopped me out. Can't work. You can't win. You cannot bully this market. You can't get lucky. You'll get lucky once in a while, but it's uncanny how little lucky you get. Market's got a tendency of just walking all over you and laughing in your face. It's horrible. To spark, that is not yet in me. Yeah, it's not in most of us, mate. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Now, I can't show you, but I can show you. So, I don't know if that made any sense there. Let me just... I've got a video going back. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't talk too much about it. I was relatively new to Guardian Angel Trader. But I made a video which will give you a little explanation about it. Let me just see if I can find it. But I have mine locked out at 1 loss. So I know after a loss, I can feel myself. Sometimes I'm okay, but other times I can feel myself having the urgency to take a trade. So for me personally, my best option is if I take a loss, I walk away for the day. Let me just see if I can find that video. I don't make many videos, so it shouldn't be difficult, actually. That's it there. That one there, a year ago. I'll kill the... you probably hear me speaking there, so let me have a look. That's it basically there. Let me... okay, let me... So what you can basically do is... Let me move that over a bit. Have a look at this one. I'm a little bit later, but you've got different parameters you can set here. So the main ones I set, I've got rid of allowed trading times. I don't think it's important, and for some reason I can't take a trade after a certain time. I'm not sure how it works, so I've got rid of that. All the ones I use is position size. I have that set to 1 contract. Losing trades, I have that set to 1 loss. I lock settings so I can't get back and change it. And in settings there, I lock out my SIM account so I can't open my SIM account. That way, when I close it down, it's locked out and I can't change anything. So if I take a loss today, regardless of what happens, I can't get back in. So that will protect you from blowing your account. It's a brilliant piece of software. It's not a huge amount of money. I think it's about $399. I think it's $300 UK or something like that, and 350 euros, something like that. But have a quick look at that. Now, I may be talking a bit of bullshit there, sounding like I know what I'm talking about, but I'd only just literally purchased it. But it is there. So it's 12 months ago. You can see how little videos I make. But have a look at that, and that'll give you a little bit of a taste of what it's about. And then you'll work out. But it's a great bit of software, and it will save your ass countless times. And then when you go on tilt, you can't even delete the software. I've tried. So when you go on tilt, you're done. There's nothing you can do. So that will be a triple test. We've had a small break and a new low, but that to me is... Now, I'm not taking a trade here, mainly because I can see orders around the 62-ish mark, which is above here and here, and there's orders maybe 67, 68-ish. So somewhere around about there. I just included those features. We can set that limits on Trade of 8 now for free. Yeah, you possibly can. Can you not just go in and change them? Because I know you used to be able to do that on Rhythmic, but then you just go in and change them. And that's what I used to do. Whereas this, you can't change things. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Have a look on your Trade of 8, but if you're like I was, just going mental and stupid and struggling, for me, it made a big difference. Now, some people say, yeah, but you need to learn self-control. But what that does, it's like when you're on a diet, if you keep the fridge locked, it keeps you out the fridge long enough to lose the weight and to get those, carbs or that desire to eat out your system. So it kind of gets you away from the problem that's becoming a habit. And eventually you break that habit and it's not such a problem anymore. So there's a bit of support there. I'm not taking anything here because we may have had a break there with a new low, and this may go up a bit higher. Now we've got orders around 56, which is down here, and we've got orders up here. So this may go a bit sideways, but I don't know whether it's going to go up or down. So for me, there's nothing I can do here. You just use Tradeovate data. Yeah. I don't know too much about Tradeovate. I've added up just when I've been having some Tradeovate, but I've not gone too much into the details of it, so I don't really fully understand it. But yeah, it's important to put something. I mean, even professional traders, with their broker, they will have like a daily loss limit if something goes wrong. I know brokers do that. So, if the shit hits the fan and something goes wrong, you're automatically liquidated. I don't know whether traders put a percentage amount on just in case anything happens. No more RT. Put that long from there. Yeah, it's hard to say really for me. I wasn't sure when there was a bigger channel, in which cases that would be a long when it's coming down. So yeah, I'm not sure at the moment. It kind of came down, went across, and then took off. You'd have been lucky to get it, to be fair, because I mean, it literally crossed over and went up. So you may not have even have got that. Yeah. I'm in a Discord where someone worked for a trading company. They had a separate risk team who would lock accounts. It said someone went on total tilt and threw the keyboard at his wrist. Yeah. See, I think really they've got to have risk management, haven't they? They've got to have something locked there because it only takes one guy with a grudge for whatever reason to decide to just go mental. So I dare say they'll have different layers of protection. So it's a lot easier for them. It's actually more difficult for us because we control the purse strings. So we know what potential damage we can do. So yeah, in fact, I think after Christmas, what I'm going to do is when I say after Christmas, when I get a next payout, I'm growing my account, so it's probably going to be a while. But when I get a next payout, I'm going to allocate a small amount, maybe $1,000 to my own account, and I'm going to start having a trade of that as well. And what I might start to do is allocate maybe 10 or 15% of whatever I make and funnel that into a personal account because ideally, I think when you get to the right time, I think it's important to have your own personal account because you lay full control there. You never know what's going to happen with these prop firms, over time. You don't know where they're going to disappear. You just don't know. I doubt very much, but it would be a damn shame for some sort of rule to come out or something to happen. And a load of these prop firms go under and we don't have nowhere to go. So don't worry about that. I can't see it happening, but I think it's important when you start to make money to maybe slowly grow your own account because at least then if something does happen in the future, you've got your kind of own, you know what I mean? Touch my PA's training it. The key is an evaluation risk on a trade, making sure you handle a loss before you think about extra cash you could win. Yeah. I have definitely calmed down with my expectations over the last year or so. I remember when I think 3 years ago, I grew that one account to $7,500. Now, I thought it was realistic that trading 2 contracts, I could make an average of $2,000 per week. Now I'm trading half of that, 1 contract. I am saying I think it's realistic to make $1,000 per month. So there's quite a difference between $2,000 a week trading 2 contracts to $1,000 per month. No, let's say $2,000 a week trading 2 contracts to $200 a week trading one. I think that is way more realistic based on what I've been doing. And all that means is an average of 2 winners per week, clear 2 winners. If I won 2 trades a week, $300, that would be $1,200, probably $1,300 a month. Now, if I have a couple of losers, that may, take off $300. So if I trade at 80%, I don't think it's I don't think it's difficult to make $1,000 a month, $250 a week. And with 20 accounts, $1,000 a month, I mean, that's $20,000. If you can regularly make $20,000 or even half of that, then you could start funneling money into your own account and increasing that. You get more prop accounts with more companies, increasing that. Once you make that sort of money, I hear this from traders, when you can make money, that's when your money really starts to grow. But it's getting to the stage where you can make consistent gains, and that is the time when you can to start slowly expanding and slowly beginning, How much tick profit do I go for? So I go for a flat 3 points. It's close to 1-to-1 most of the time, and I like it. Now, some trade 1 point. The trouble is, I took a trade the other day. Was it week before last or something? I ended up losing 5 points. So if I'm scalping for a point and I win 5 trades in a row, and then I lose the 6th trade for a 5-point candle, I'm in the red. So it's just, I can't do it personally. So it suits me. Now, most traders I know tend to trade around the 2 points, 10 ticks, which is very close to what I do. There are some, I know Marco and Dan trade 6 ticks, but they go for runners. I don't. I know that Vlad guy said he trades between 2 points and 10 ticks, depending on what the ATR is. So I think 3 points works well for me. What's going on here? I don't know if you're going to make $1,000 a month plus the company leave. You never know. I mean, I don't think $250 a week is unreasonable, but I use that as just a rough guideline. Now, that would be $1,000 a month, even if I make half of that, which is 1 trade a week on average, clearly winning. It's still $10,000 a month. It's still $120,000 a year for working 3.5 hours a day. Who earns that sort of money? But once you can get to that consistency, that's when you can grow more accounts and your own. So once you can get there, that's when things, slowly start to take off. That's if that's what you want, of course. So let me have a look at this. Now, I expected some kind of a pullback. Now, this push down, we had an overshoot push down, so I still think there's a good chance this could come down further. It's just based on what I'm looking at. But I certainly wouldn't just short the hell out of the thing just for the sake of it. So my guess is there is a spike and a channel of some sort there. Which, if there is, might be a bit clearer on this one. Maybe a small break there. Yeah, it's not super clear. It's not super clear. Doesn't look too bad. Which mean we might have a little break. It's hard to say. Maybe that might be better. Trouble is, if you don't get your channel right, it's hard to make informed judgments about what to do. It's not perfect. But it's, I think, about as good as I've got at the moment. A complete boo, even though. Trouble is, you never know. You never know it's going to do this. That's the, yeah. You never know what price is going to do. You may have chickened out at the right time because it may have turned around and got you. So, yeah, getting out of a trade at a certain time, I wouldn't never feel bad about, because you do never know what it's going to do. Sometimes you're better off grabbing a bit and guaranteeing yourself some profits rather than maybe taking too much of a risk. So there is an area. So let me have a look at that. So 2.5, 62.5. Sorry, let's get it right. 62.5, which is there, is an area where there are buyers. There are buyers below here. So this could go up. We've had a break and a new low. Now, I do wonder whether we end up doing something like this and then that. Those orders are at 62, which is kind of testing the tops of this, isn't it? Testing. 1, 2. You know what I mean? Something like that. A couple of legs back. It may be. Now, I've just drawn that kind of just a rough kind of stab in the dark. Now, whether it turns out to be right or not, I got no idea. But if this is going to push up, we've had a break here, a clear break, a strong move down, and then a strong kind of reversal there. So this could continue up. It certainly could. We've got some strong aggressive buyers at the moment. There's double the amount of aggressive buyers. I would like to see this come a bit lower, though, and pick up these orders down here. You can see there's 126 contracts at 62.5. So I'd like to see a little push up here and then down here somewhere. Now, I don't know where this, even if this is going to push and move up, I don't know where the bottom of this will be. I just kind of did it like that as just a rough. So don't look at that and think we're definitely going up. I'm just putting it there out of curiosity. Trading big numbers. I'd have cancer. I see what you mean. I thought you were saying you had. Well, I just started feeling really bad for you then. Touch wood, you're right. Stress is insane, yeah. You know, we all know stress is not good for you. Stress that you can manage is okay. Stress that you can't manage is bad. I had a doctor tell me that once. He said, stress is okay. It's good for you to have that little bit of stress. It's when it becomes uncontrollable, it becomes a problem. When you don't get a break from it. But a little bit, you know, if you're playing a final at Wimbledon, you're going to have a little bit of stress, aren't you? A little bit of stress and pressure is good for you. Too much, not so good. Okay, so a little channel with a break and a new low. You may even say 1, 2, 3 possible triple tests. See if we get a strong move up here. We've got buyers here, as we know. I'm going to get an order here.
Order
just
submitted.
Case. Getting some a little bit lower. About 61-ish, around about here. Now, I've just put that there. It might not be right, so don't... let's get rid of it, I think. Channel break, new low.
Order cancelled.
So I don't need a channel there. We got that channel with a break. Yeah, keep things nice and slow. There's never a rush. You do try and rush to grow accounts and make money quick, but one hard fact I've learned over my 5 years of trading is the one thing I've heard in the back of my head that I've tried to block out, and now I've accepted it's not a get rich quick scheme. You can make a lot of money at trading, but it does take you a fair few years. I think realistically, 5 years. Now, they did a poll on the Facebook group some time ago, and the traders that were profitable, and I think that the significant time was between 4 and 6 years. So you pick the middle of the year, 5 years. So I think you're looking at really 5 years. Some people may do it a bit earlier, but there is that slow process of pain and suffering and learning, which you have to go through. There's no way around it. It's like learning to drive. Now, you can drive down the motorway now. I've been driving 30 years. I can drive down the motorway and I'm doing all this in the background. My foot's doing its bit. My hands are doing my bit. My eyes are scanning, and all that is on autopilot. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm doing it automatically because I've been driving so long. I can do it without even thinking. But it takes time and experience to be able to do that. When you've been driving a long time, you can see when people are doing something stupid on the road. You know, I tend to get eye contact with people, and you have an idea if someone's going to do something stupid. Try braking with your opposite leg if you've never done that. It's near damn impossible. But when you get an emergency stop, your foot does everything it's supposed to. It doesn't slam it on. It's really under control. So it's like a lot of jobs. It's experience, and it takes time. And people always underestimate how long it's time. I know that because I've done it, and they always try and rush it and think if they throw enough money at it, you'll get there quicker. All it'll do is prolong things, and it'll cause you a lot more pain. So the best thing to do is to keep it small and just aim for consistency and learning, basically. So there is a little second entry here. There's a bull bar, higher, low here. It's a bit too far from that EMA for me. What I like about it is it's tested this, but I'm staying out of here because this is just a little bit too far for me. There's no room to the lows anyway. So this may pop back up, but if I get in there, I mean, look, I'm lucky if I get 2 ticks out of that. Now it may shoot down. If this is going to, whether this is the low or we've had a break, maybe this is included in price and this is coming down to test the lows, that's fine. But I want a little bit more of a stronger move than that. I can see there are orders down there at 55. So there's nothing I can do here, really. I'd want to see a triple test here, maybe a one leg and a second leg, really, before I decided. It does look. So what I could do is adjust that like that. And maybe that wasn't a break. Because in all honesty, that tiny little break and then for the market to drop like that tells me that it may not be a break. So I would have said, mind you, look, Mac's just gone and screwed it for me. Yeah, see, that's how I originally had my chart there, from here to there, and then we had that correction. Remember I said we had a leg down there with a correction, but Mac's done it slightly different. Now, you never know where Mac might say he's got a spike on a channel, which kind of makes sense. So you just never know, really. You can adjust things, and you never really know. You know, we've all got kind of different opinions. Okay, so Marco took that trade there. Good on him. Marco goes for 6 ticks, so you can get away with that. For me, it's just not enough, really. Well, there isn't 6 ticks, but, you know, I think there's a good chance it's going down. But the bit that's concerning me is this, that it's a little bit of a range, in which case it may trigger you, touch the bottom and pull back a bit higher, clear out liquidity here and here, have a little push up, and then, you know, maybe there's something like this. It's a possibility. So if there is a channel, that to me, going right the way below the midline, for me, it's just not for me. So I left it. I wait for something to literally jump in front of me and wave, something super obvious, but Marco knows what he's doing. But as I say, we can all see things slightly different. Do you know Marco took that? Yeah, I'll show you. There we go. He took that one. You can see he's in there. As I say, I don't think it was a terrible trade. It's just not for me. I go for something just a little bit more secure, shall we say. Yeah, someone else said took that too. Made me sweat. Yeah, I get it. Marco is in Dan's Discord. Yeah, he's in both, actually. He's in Dan's and in Thomas Wade's as well. Okay, so Thomas Wade took it as well. Let's have a look. So he took that. So Thomas Wade's got that bigger. He does draw these channels much quicker. So if I'd have had that channel, I wouldn't have taken that. If I'd have had that channel, it's just, for me, I'd want this up here really in the bar area. It's too close to the lows. You know, Mac will always say, if there's enough room to the lows, take it. If you go a tick below there, it's got to have a tick to push through. There's half a tick. There's half a point. It's too risky for me there. It would have worked for me just to the tick. But it's not right for me there. The move's already gone, in my opinion. There's nothing left, unfortunately, but there we go. But, you know, people do see things quite different. Dan's Discord. Okay, so this is Dan's Discord. If you want to join Dan's Discord, and I absolutely recommend Dan, he's a solid trader. He's probably one of the better traders that we know who trades Pats. He's a gentle guy and he's an absolute lovely guy, and I can't recommend him enough. So if you are interested, there is a link in the description on this stream. On all my streams, you'll see a link. It'll say Dan's Discord. He charges $25 per month. I believe there's tax, which makes it just under $30, something like that. But I think that's good value for money. But you get Marco on there as well. They post Dan's chart. Max chart, sorry. But there's Dan's chart there. So Dan's a really talented trader when it comes to Pat. So I would absolutely recommend it. So yeah, in the description of this stream, you'll see it. And I'll give you a link towards it. If you have any problems, let me know and I'll talk to him. So let me just get rid of this a minute. So really strong orders, 55 to 52. So below price now. So 55 to 52 and a half-ish, somewhere around there. So there's strong buyers there, which tells me price is going to come towards these. I'm hoping we get a little push up. You may consider that a triple test then. I don't think we will, though. Dan's or Wade's. Okay, so my honest opinion, there is content with Thomas Wade's. You get to join his website where there are multiple videos and different trading tools, so that's good value. And I think he charges $100 per quarter, I think, so every 3 months, which is about $33. Now, whether there's tax in that, I'm not sure. I know there is on Dan's, but they trade the same style, but quite differently. They're both really nice people. I wouldn't want to say either one. I would say, relatively confidently, Dan is more successful, but Thomas Wade is very consistent. So they're both really nice people. So whichever you choose, I think you'll get good value from both. You know, I only put on these little advertisements that I put mine. I only put those two guys on there because I think they're decent people and they're good at what they do. Thomas Wade's built up slowly. He's, you know, I think you looked at him a year ago. He's trading 7 contracts. Now he's trading 10. So, and he's profitable. He's profitable, consistent, and a really nice guy. Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely. I think Dan he talks more. He doesn't put charts in as much as Thomas Wade. So if it's charts and confirmation you want to see, I would say you're going to get more from Thomas Wade. But you'd also have his website as well, that I think the Academy calls it, where he does a lot of talking about the videos as well. But Dan, I think, does an end of the week one. Let me have a look. Dan does the end of the week one. Now, Dan's obviously a busy guy, so that's probably why he doesn't put as much into, charts and stuff. But he does do a. I'll move that over that way a bit. There are bits of stuff in it. I've not looked at it all. Daily review video. Is that daily or weekly? It might be a daily one now. When was that? The 19th of the 11th. Okay, that was the last one he does. He doesn't do it as much, but they are both really good. And they're both nice guys as well. Ultimately, that's what it's about for me. You know what? I was going to say, Dan doesn't put his chart on as much as Thomas Wade, but I just looked, and yesterday, 420, 457, sorry, 220, 257, 417, 458. So he does put it on more, actually, but I'd say either or, whichever you fancy, have a go at, but they're both decent guys. And I recommend both of them. I'm going to trade this, start giving me a ton of anxiety. The only thing I didn't like about Thomas Wade score is everyone typing out when they win a trade. Give me a ton of anxiety. Yeah, what I would do is when you're in a trade, all I would focus on is your trade. I've done that before. When I was kind of newer to this game, I would get into a trade and I would look at the comments and I would read maybe a comment saying, oh, I wouldn't get in there or I wouldn't have done that. And I'd get out of the trade and panic. And sometimes it went on to work. So it's important when you get into a trade, the only way you learn is to take the trades based on what you think and regardless of what anybody else thinks. If you copy other people, you don't learn nothing. So you have to take what you believe is right, and it's how you learn, and it's how you're then molded into a guy who can read the charts. So when you're in a trade, focus on nothing but your chart. When the trade's over, then you can kind of have a look at comments and stuff like that. Yeah, and you don't know. A lot of people might go, oh, yeah, I took that as well. And they may not have done. Some people don't like to feel left out. Some people, want people to think they can take trades and they're making money. There's a lot. You'll see less traders when they take a loss, they don't tell you a lot of the time. So that can, you tend to think they tend to win and I don't. But a lot of people won't post it when they lose. So you've got that side as well. But when you're in a trade, just focus on the trade. And yeah, don't watch what other people do or when they come out, because you don't know that. You don't really know what people are doing. And I know a lot of people, I know from experience that I don't post on the Facebook group anymore. But when I was kind of new, so many people posted winners and winners and winners, and you would never, very rarely get anyone posting a loss. And that's why I came across Thomas Wade. He wasn't shy about posting trade losses on video as well. And I think that says a lot about someone, that they can accept losses. They're not ashamed of losses. And that makes you feel good as well. If you see experienced guys who are making money taking losses, that makes you feel a bit better as well. I don't mean that in a nasty way. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter who you are, people take losses. And they are going to happen. I don't pay as much time as I used to. My confidence is growing. A lot of times I used to say, "What do you think of that, Dan? What do you think of that?" But a lot of the times he would kind of say what I was thinking. And there was a couple of trades I took a few weeks ago that Dan said he wouldn't have taken. Thomas Wade took it. Matt said, just go short there. And so we do see things slightly different. So Dan might see certain trades a little bit better because that's the type of trade he looks for. And I might trade something new. So although we kind of trade the same thing, we do look at entries sometimes slightly different. Do you have a Bullocks discount? I don't, mate. And the reason I don't is, for some reason, Bullocks. Hold on a second. Am I read the right thing? Bullocks, whatever it is. Bullocks. Yeah, Bullocks. I don't, because the only reason I have nothing to do with them is you can't copy trade Bullocks with anybody else. They don't like it. And I think that's a bit odd. So, Wilson. Yeah, they don't allow you to copy trade with any other companies. I don't. Strange that is. So no, I don't, bud. I don't. It's a bit strange that I don't quite know why. Bullocks. I prefer Bollocks, actually. I think that sounds better. Someone will have one. I'm just trying to think who will have one. I don't know many people who trade Bullocks, to be honest with you. I think because of that reason, because you can't copy trade. There'll be something on their website anyway, I don't doubt it. Cross trade copier. What is the best copier? Well, for me personally, I like stinks. I like Replicanto, and I've used that now for about 2 years. There's my Replicanto there. You can see all mine ready to copy, but I like this. I've never had any problems with Replicanto, never. So I like that one. Not only that as well, the guy that owns it is really nice. He's a really nice guy. I've chatted to him a bunch of times. He's helped me out a few times if I've had problems. He's really friendly, so I would recommend. I don't know of many others. I know Apex have one. The initial one they had, I had about 3 years ago, and it was naff, to be honest with you. I didn't like it, but I believe they updated it. But you know what they say, the best one is the one that works for you. So who's the owner? His name is, I forget his name. He's got like a Spanishy type name. Let me have a look on my emails. Is it Rodolfo? I think it might be Rodolfo. Is it Rodolfo? They're similar names. The one who has Guardian Angel Trader. I probably deleted I probably deleted the email now. I think it's Rodolfo, something like that. Apex coffee is awful. Yeah, the thing is, Apex are obviously more of a prop firm, whereas Replicanto, they specialize in software. So, and you get regular updates. Sometimes you won't get an update for 2 months. Sometimes you'll get 2 in a week. But It works well for me. I've never had any problems with it. I like it. And let's face it, the less of a headache you need with bits of software, the better, really. So, channel, I think that's the break. This is looking like it's coming down to test the lows. There's not a huge amount in the way of larger orders on here at the moment, but there are some. There's sell orders around about this area again. So you can see this area has played a part, can't you? Where there were orders, look, bounce, 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 bounce. So if it pushes back in here, it may come down lower, but I want to see strong orders down here really before I consider shorting it. There's possibly a channel there, maybe. It's hard to say, but I know there are sellers here. It's amazing, isn't it? You see these areas where these sellers were, I marked it here, and if you look back on it, it's amazing how, you wonder why people put sells and buys in certain areas. You can clearly see there. So we haven't hit the lows yet, so I'm going to just put that a bit tighter there. So there may be a small break there. It's hard to say. It's not super obvious. There certainly is now, I think. So I'd be interested to see those orders there. They're around about 53, 54, which is in this area. Because this is quite tight up, we've got a bearish bar here. I would have to wait for a lower high. I couldn't just take that because it's a bit more clear on this chart. It's going up. You can clearly see there's a break on this chart. It's much clearer. Small break there. Maybe it's testing this underside. Who knows? You can see we got some resistance there, didn't we, before we pushed up it. So, and there's buy orders just above 47.5, which is about here. So I don't know whether that's a channel or not. I'm guessing now it's broken about it. I'd rather just leave it. It just looks like two legs to me. You're welcome. You're welcome, mate. I have got a discount code somewhere. I think it's on there. But there is 20% off it. So if you do want to get it, just if you can't find, there we go. I have got something on there, but you don't have to use mine. You can use anybody's, but make sure you obviously get a bit of discount if you do decide to. I wouldn't bother with it until you are trading multiple accounts, really. So channel break. Yeah, I'm not taking that. I'm waiting for the lower high, really. I took a trade and I got out of it, so no, I haven't made any money this week so far. On one account, I have, tell a lie. I just haven't said anything great, to be honest with you. The one I got in, I ended up getting out because the market had a quick flicker around, but it would have worked. So it's rare this happens, to be honest with you, but it's just not been a great week. Channel break, new high. So 47 and 46, there are orders. So I'd say there's a good chance we come below here. Where's the, about 46, I'd say. I was hoping that would be a little bit higher. I was hoping these orders would be down here. Maybe we get a lower high. We'll see.
Order submitted.
Something about this I don't
Order
like.
cancelled.
Okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a second. There are orders here, which is one tick above here. See, we haven't made a new low yet. That doesn't mean that will definitely come down. I used to think this has got to come down and I'm waiting for something, and sometimes it just goes up. Got a few ticks off it. But we had channel with a break, 2 pushes, and an attempted low. So I used to think this has got to work. But it hasn't always. See, on this left chart, we've had a push up, one attempt to go lower, could make a second attempt to go lower, and then go up for a leg. So we could have a leg and a leg. So this thing may still go up. And looking at Bookmap, we've got even orders above and below price. So there's nothing clear for me. There's probably slightly more orders lower down around here, but not really enough to make a difference. So for me at the moment, I'm just sitting tight, yeah. There is some stronger ones up here. It's hard to say. It's constantly changing. So at the moment, I'm just sitting tight at the moment. It works like this sometimes. I had one day last week where I took 2 trades in 5 minutes. I've taken 1 trade all week and I got out of it for a tick because it had a little bit of a flick, which would have gone on to work. But sometimes it just works like this. See, where's the direction at the moment? Short-term direction, are we going up for a second leg to clear some of this liquidity? Or is this going to come down? We've had 2 legs down. We pull back. Is this going to come down? My guess is it's probably going to go up a little bit first. So 56. There are some orders at 60. So it may come up. It may come up here above some of this liquidity. It's hard to say at the moment. I don't really know. It may make a difference on aggressive. So we've got a break. 2 pushes to a new high. So it depends how you're looking at this. It's just not super clear for me, but See what I mean? We push up, we may have a couple of attempts to go lower and then up for a second leg, which is what's happening. So sometimes when you don't make a low, we think we've still got to come down and make a low. That's not always the case. We've had 2 clear legs down as an attempted low. So in a lot of cases, that's good enough. It won't always test the lows. It has tested them, not quite as low as it could have done, but with it being 2 nice legs, then that may be enough. So I try and keep an open mind. I used to be thinking every way to get into a shorty because we hadn't made the lows, and sometimes you do, and it traps you. There's a second entry short there. If that triggers, that may go up. I think it will. I think that's going to get stopped out. And if it does push above there, it might start picking up some of this liquidity. Why do I think there? Because I can see a stack of orders in here. And not much down below, so that tells me that second entry short there, or 2 legs up, is a bit of a trap. So yeah, so if you're thinking, oh yeah, 2 legs up, now I can go short and retest the lows, triggers you, stops you out. I wouldn't want to take that either because it's going to get into this area. Now, there's still that possibility we may still come down, so we may have a bit of a measured leg up here. May attempt, you can see there's resistance there, so we may kind of, if you look there, where's that resistance? Right where that measured leg is. So it's surprising how all these little things make a difference. We're coming into these sellers here now, so it may hit the sellers and then it may go down. It's hard to say, really. Yeah, a couple of people took that. Well, it was an inside bar for me. Thomas Way said it was an inside bar. A couple of people didn't have an inside bar, and they took that. I didn't think it was a bad trade. I think there's a fair chance it gets into this area, but it was an inside bar for me, so there was nothing I could do, unfortunately. Whether that was a bit more bullish and someone took that, but that never triggered either on my chart. So you may think 2 legs up, let's go short here. I wouldn't go short here because all the orders are above. Currently, whether that changes or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if it triggers that first before it pushes up. It is 2 legs, so it may come back to the EMA, but my guess is it's going to go up and stop that out. Trays and points. I probably average about 3 to 4 trades a week, something like that. I haven't paid too much attention to documenting everything in the past. That's changed this month. I've designed my own kind of because I've used multiple different bits of journals, and most of them are super complicated. You don't need them, so I've just kind of designed my own little thing on Excel. Excel's a great bit of software, and I pay £8 a month for it. So I've just designed my own, something simple. So now I got to these 20 accounts. This is when I was going to start journaling things properly. But since I've had the 20 accounts, I've taken a trade this week. Well, I took one. I got a tick for it. I got out in the end because it started flickering around, but it did work. So, measured move made. Slightly larger than that, I think. But so, 2 legs up. Now, I can see sellers up here, and that makes sense because there's bound to be liquidity above there. It's funny, those sellers are right above there, so... But is this going to come back down? It's hard to say at the moment. It could do. But you know, there may end up being a. I don't think there's a channel up there at the moment. Doesn't. It could be. It's possible. But I'm just sitting tight. And I've noticed now there are more and more orders starting to grow up here, which looks like it's starting to pull price up. If you look on Bookmap, see all these orders just kind of running up the top. They're slowly drawing price between these levels. So you just don't know. Or, you know, we've had this move down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, and then maybe down some more. Just look at this 10,000 tick chart. It's certainly feasible. We've had the move down. We could have one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, and then down again. My guess is you can see the pattern: up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Where's it coming next? Down. You'd think so, based on what it's shown us so far. I wouldn't think that would come down that quick, but we've had one attempt to go higher. Maybe we get a second, and then down we go. So I don't think this is finished with the down stuff just yet, but that's just based on what I've seen. I can only kind of trade what I see, but you got to get the direction right. So temporarily, is the direction going higher? It may be. So there's not really much I can do at the moment. You see how that bearish bar triggered, stopped out. That bearish bar triggered. What's going to happen there? Stopped out, I'd say. And these orders are drawing the price up. It's a good idea sometimes if you think you've been trapped there and it's getting close, maybe to get out here, save yourself 3 or 4 ticks. Something I might consider doing. I don't get trapped as much as I used to, but sure miss those days. Yeah, I don't know why he's not doing them anymore. I liked him. He's a very clever trader. He is. Whether he's just keeping it for his subscribers, but he's a nice guy, a really good trader. He reads those markets like a bloody psychic reads their palm, or a palm reader reads their palm. It's almost like he's got a crystal ball in front of him. So there we go. So if you took that, you got stopped out. So, you know, sometimes if you get into them and you start to think, damn, I've been caught, you could get out a bit early there, save yourself a few ticks. Very hard trading the penguin trade. Yeah, he's definitely very good at reading. I found it a little bit more difficult to read than I thought it was, because it's very similar to Max, but it's kind of more of a blown out version. You know, let's call his general surgery and Max kind of microsurgery. But yeah, I played around with it and stuff like that. He does post on his Discord. Yeah, I've got his Discord here, actually. Well, I've got 2 of them. This was a new one, and one guy messaged me and said this is the new one that they're using. Let's have a look. But that was his original one there. I don't think they post it as much. When was this? The 3rd and 11th. So they stopped posting it for some reason, and I don't know why. But, okay, that's interesting. What is it? 52. Kind of below there. See a little bit higher, 52.5, and big orders down here. So is this thing now coming down again? It's hard to say. We've had 2 legs down and 2 legs up. That's a possibility, but I wouldn't trade here based on that, really. I want a little bit more confirmation. It has pushed up and kind of tested these same areas. It has broke above that bar by 1 tick, and then I'd call a strong move down. So there are orders at 52. which is there. And there are some down at 47 and about 46, which is here. So this may come down. But I haven't seen anything obvious, to be honest with you. A little pullback here would be nice. I just don't think we're going to get one because I think it's starting to get a little bit more obvious where prices are going. So a second entry long failure would be nice here because there's bound to be some traders with this. I don't think that is at the moment. So there's bound to be some traders going long. But the way this is looking, we push down, we go across, down slightly, and then drop. That's how that usually works. Orders, sell orders there at around about 56 and a bit. Let's call that about there. Yeah, that's where I'd be interested, whether it'd come down or not. But as it pushes down, sometimes when it comes down like that, it just drops. I'm hoping we get a pullback here. That's what we need. See, what I'm thinking is there's going to be traders doing this. So I would look for a failure there. A short failure. Sorry, a long failure. It's gone too far for a lower high for me, to be honest with you. That's a channel down there with a break, I think. I'm just trying to think where traders may be thinking about going long, and I can help trap them and ride down, I think. So I don't think this is a channel, but I'm just looking upon it for an area of traders going long here. Orders at 50. Maybe we get a long here and then a long failure.
Order submitted.
See if this traps traders. Stronger orders are at 50 here. Hope I don't get trapped myself. Okay, see if this triggers and drops.
Order cancelled.
You got long. Yeah, I'm just not sure here because we've had a leg and a leg. You don't know whether we're going to have a leg and then a leg. It's just a little bit unclear, isn't it? I thought if it triggers this and drops, then we may get the failure. But it is testing this area. You can clearly see this area. It's testing this area multiple times. You think a reversal, dear? Just not sure at the moment. Let's see, there is that 700 contracts down here to buy? Which Discord, bud? No, both of them you have to pay for. I think Thomas Wade's is $100 per month. Those orders have been yanked now. Can you see them at 50? Now, is this going to trap and push up? May well do. There are some there, but they're not as strong as they were. Trouble is, we are finding support there. So, yeah, I'm not super sure, to be honest with you, bud. There was a bunch of orders down here at 50, which is here. Sorry, I moved it, which is here, but a lot of them got yanked. You can see there is some there. There's some at 51 and a quarter and 50. So I'm not sure. It's a little bit choppy, but we've had 2 legs up. Are we going to get 2 legs down? There's going to be some buyers stops there, isn't there? It's just a bit unclear. I don't know whether we get 2 legs or whether this is going to shoot up. I'm not sure really. So, I'm still guessing it's probably going to come down and attempt to break these lows again, but this is a bit trappy. We've had a short there, which is pushed up and stopped out. You've got a long here, which has come up and looking like it may come down. Is this a leg and a leg? There's a bit of a battle going on here, I think. Yeah, it is unclear, mate, isn't it? Possible second entry short, triple test. It's a bit choppy, though. It's easy to get stuck in this. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes it'll work and drop. Other times it'll just turn. We've got orders, stronger orders above that I can see, but there are orders at about 3.5, which is here, and it's not low enough for me. It may come down, stop that out, and then turn. So at the moment, I'm just staying out of this. It's just choppy a bit here. It could sting you. Time for a break. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, mate. Yeah, I can see one guy on Dan's channel going long there. Someone else said they took it. Is it going to go long? There's more orders up here, but I think this is just a bit congested here. And when it's congested, it gets trappy. You can have longs in there, no doubt, longs in there as well. So this may have a quick flush down. It is doing this, really. So for me, I'm just sitting tight here. If all of a sudden, yeah, there's a few people in here. It may be okay, but for me, it's just a bit too congested. And it could sting a few people. Yeah, 1, 2. I can see 3 people who took that. And it may well work. convinced this thing is going up at the moment. Following the rules, yeah. Sometimes the slower it goes up, the quicker it comes down. Not only that, if you think how much support is there, support, 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 support. You see what I mean? So if you're in that trade now, all of a sudden you begin to be thinking, oh shit, have I made the right decision here? Now it may come back in, push up and stop out, stop out, stop out, and a ton of them. It's hard to say, but what I can tell you is it's choppy. And it's dangerous. So if you're in this now, all of a sudden now your arse is starting to tweak a good one, isn't it? Now, it may still hold, but leg down, my guess is this hasn't finished with the down stuff yet, so there's going to be quite a few traders who are going to get stung here. So if you got on a tick above there, let's get it right. May still hold, so point now. If you'd have got 1.25 there at a push, because you've got to tick through, so you just got stopped out, and these will be next as well. So there's going to be a few upset people there, but it's what it is. It's just clearly choppy to me, so you've got to be so careful. Good on you, Marco. Marco did the smart thing and went short. I agree with that. I didn't take it because it's choppy. But short was the answer. There was quite a few people in long there. But Marco went short there. That was the sensible thing for me. It's still a bit choppy, so I left it. But the long for me is just had trap written all over it. Yeah, it is really. I thought that was the better option. We got this leg down. I think it was a better option, but it was still above the EMA. EMA's flat as a pancake, so you just never know. So yeah, Marco went short. I thought that was the clever thing, because the way this pushed up and finished bearish, I think then it's more likely going to come down. But how far does it come down? Because at the moment it's going up and down and up and down and up and down. Marco only goes for 6 ticks. So he'll have been in and out of that, relatively quick. Mind you, that EMA's dropped a touch. So Marco goes for 6 ticks. So he will be out there plenty before there. You'd expect that to get stopped out. That's what I would. I wouldn't expect, if I was along there and this came towards me there, I would expect to get stopped out. And Marco was out a tick and a half before that. For me, that's where I would have to get out. That would have probably just given me points, but that's if you went a tick lower, I wouldn't have been out yet. But it's just a bit too choppy for me. It's not super clear, is it? 1 minute it looks like it's going up, then the next minute it does the opposite. But going long into there, all I'm doing is looking at that. They're all finding resistance. So you're going long into resistance for me there, and I think it's the kind of lesser of two evils to go short. Yeah, I mean, the EMA's flat, isn't it? So that's a good indication price is going side to side, sideways. Just try again. But Marco just took advantage of his colleagues there by taking that. Not very nice, is he? No, that was definitely the smarter trade for 6 ticks, I think. For an hour, yeah. There's obviously, the thing is, we've had this move down, haven't we? We've had a couple of legs up, 2 legs down, 2 legs up. There's a little bit of uncertainty where price is going. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my gut feeling is, based on the last 4 days, its price is probably going to come down. Now, I put that sell thing there at 60 earlier on, and it's pushed up, hit there, and where's it going? We got a leg down with a pullback. You can see we found resistance here before. For me, this is more likely to go down and head towards the bottom. There's going to be liquidity there, definitely here as well. So for me, this is on its way down. Now, in what form it does it? So look at that. Leg down, leg down. Where's it going? Right at the bottoms. Right here, right here. So, you know, based on what I can see, price has been doing. And if you're trading something like this, where do you buy? You buy at the bottoms. And obviously this being the 10,000 tick chart. But for me, leg and leg down and down to the lows. That's what I'm thinking. So move down 1, 2, 3. You'd probably call that a triple test as well. I would want it below. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. This reminded me of yesterday to a degree. There was a lot of this chop, and we've had the same today, haven't we? Chop, 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 and again. So, you may say a leg down with a correction. Possibly something like that, maybe. Who knows? Trouble is now, if you look on Bookmap, we've got orders up here and orders down here. It's quite an even amount of orders up and down. About 47 3/4. There are orders. That's about it. A little above 60. That's about there. So prices here, smack bang in the middle. So that might be why it is chopping a little bit. We got orders down there and down there, and down as much as 46 1/4, which is about there. So, you know, the thing is, you never quite know whether we can end up doing something like this. 2 legs up, 2 legs down, 2 legs up. We've had 2 smaller legs, which I've marked right to the tick, but you never quite know whether, you know, we come up. In other words, move down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go. It's hard to say, really, but it's been a really awkward couple of days. Now, it is unlike me to not take many trades, to be honest with you. I don't take a huge amount, but I'd probably taken maybe 4 a week or something like that. But what you can't do is let the patience get the better. You think, I should be taking trades. Other people are taking trades. Yeah, really, that's the worst thing you can do. You can get yourself into a whole heap of trouble there. You start listening to other people. You start seeing other people's trades. You feel under pressure to take something. You take a loss and you end up picking yourself. And it's times like that where you go on tilt when you do something that you know you really shouldn't have done. I always have this feeling when I take a trade. I either like it or there's something not right with it. And I try and wait for those trades that literally just jump out in front of me and wave. Really obvious. But we don't get a huge amount of them at the moment. I think we have a channel up here. We've certainly got a little Small channel up. Yeah, I don't know whether there's anything larger for me. It's certainly a smaller one, but how many times have we tested this area? But there are orders above it, so maybe this is strong enough to push through. See, I wouldn't do that at the moment. It's too broad, that is, for me, for a channel up. Now, if it goes up to here and comes back down to here, I may, readdress that, but that's a move up with a correction. So I'm just not sure at the moment. So if I'm not sure, I'm best to just to get it off. So it's hit that level, which we had there. So as much as 63.5. So there are orders there and below. A little bit higher. 3 touches. Depends how you look at it. See, the only place I can see 3 touches really is kind of there. But then we've had a correction and a new high. It's played out. If I make it there, really we've touched there and touched there. So, yeah, I'm not sure about it. Right, so you've got it there, have you? Yeah, so as we know, from a Pat's point of view, we break of a channel and make a new high, which is what we've done there. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you. Would I put it there? Not really. 1, 2, we break there, don't we? So it's just not super clear for me. So if I think it's, yeah, it's hard to say, mate, really. You've got to do what you think is right. Now, I'll always try this. If people say there's things, I'll try these. That's why I lost the first trade too early. Yeah. If I'm not sure, see, if I look here, see, I've got Thomas Wade with that and then the break. This guy has got the smaller bit with the break. Taylor has got 2 separate little channels. There's his 2 separate. So he's got 1 channel and then something. So I got kind of mixed opinions here. So I think if you're not sure, if it's strong opinions, then I'll tend to do it. But if you're not sure, I would just leave it. That I'd say probably get rid of now. I think it's fair to say. So we've got kind of 2 legs up. We've got a bit of a correction and we've got another move up. So we may get something like that. It's hard to say. I'm just not sure what I'm thinking about here. This isn't really clear for me. It's a bit, is this going to come down and test these lows? Or it's hard to say, but this is really just not making much sense, is it really? These orders are disappearing now, so I think people realise this thing may not be coming down. It's hard to say. Same again, looking at these orders on Bookmap, they are kind of slowly drawing price up, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when it gets here. So the highest orders that I can see strength-wise are around about the 70. So that's for me the next part. And I'm guessing it's 1 tick or a few ticks above here. So I mentioned this earlier. There's a possibility, probably easy to show you on the 10,000 chit chart. We got this move down. There's a possibility of 2 attempts to push higher. And then we come down for a second go at the bottoms. Now, there's no guarantees, of course. If I put that there, though, so we got a touch, and a touch. And then we have this kind of push up and an attempt at a low. Maybe we get 2 legs and it comes down again. I'm really not sure. It could turn up or it could come down. But for me, I haven't got a clue at the moment. So I'm just being a good boy and leave me some. In fact, it's probably a good time now to go and make a cup of tea. So I'm just going to pop that on the charts. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a quiet brew. I may even treat myself to a small one. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I'll be about 5 minutes. So let's pop that there and that there. So we've made a measured move right to the tick. This is the crucial level here for me. This doesn't look like a larger channel to me. This looks like a leg up with a correction and a leg up. So, as I say, this may be the 2 attempts to push higher, followed by a big move down. Now, that's just a possibility. You can clearly see. Maybe, yeah, you probably consider this as overnight highs, this level here. And we got close to it and pulled back, and we're close to it again. We're quite a ways away from the EMA there. I wouldn't think about going short here at the moment because I can see orders around the 63.5, 64 to go long, which is about here. Now, it may come down below there and may work higher. I want to see really strong bit of resistance here, followed by okay, this is that area for me. And I think it depends whether these sellers get absorbed. Yeah, Thomas Way's just popped that on there. Looks like 2 legs up. So he's kind of looking at the 2 legs as well. It's not a channel for me. It's 2 attempts to push higher. First one, we had some support here. We had 2 legs back and eventually we pushed through. So that's a leg up and that's a leg up for me. Now, they're rather large legs, separate legs, but I still think there's a good chance this thing is going to come right down. And just now, I wouldn't trade on what I'm seeing. I want some proper confirmation, but you know, we see these things, don't we? And then, you know, price changes, but we've got this move down there, 1 push up, 2nd push up. If price gets down below that EMA, for me, this is going to work down to this area, and that would be kind of 2 legs down. But that's, call it an educated guess. Whether it's a good guess or a stupid guess, who knows? But I wouldn't trade it based on that. I'd want to see some solid confirmation first. Cheers, everyone. Poured myself 1 single malt. Oh, that is 14-year-old rum cask Balvenie, non-chill filtered. 43%, I think. God, I could easily be an alcoholic. I reckon I'd be good at it. So you can see those orders, about 160 contracts right there at 70. Short again. Yeah, I just want to give this, I want to see some real rejection here. Now, we had 2 legs up there, or a channel break, 2 pushes, a little bit of sideways, and then eventually it dropped. So I want to see kind of some rejection here. The bit that's concerning me is there's 908 contracts there to go long. You can see them there, just under 5 and above 3. So between 3 and 5. So it'd be interesting to see what that does. So just under 5 there, and to about 3. So there's 918 contracts right there. Now, did you notice, did they get hit or not? Some of them did. There's some still there. Or did they get yanked? Right. Or did some of them get hit? It's hard to say. Maybe. You can see the imbalance here, can't you? There's a little bit more buyers there, and price is pushed up a little bit. It's not strong enough for me. Okay, good example. Taylor's just put that. His second chart. Look at that. One leg up, two legs up, in the way of two legs. So my gut feeling is we could see some strong rejection here. But that's a really nice, clean example there. He's another good. He used to do a daily bar by bar. Taylor did, and I used to really like it. He makes a lot of sense. He does. So that's basically what he's put. He uses a second chart. In fact, I think he uses a couple of them. Yeah, look how nice that's fitting. Right to the tick on the bottom and right to the tick there. That's perfect example of two clear legs up. There's a leg and a leg up here. I like that. Leg up with a correction and a leg up. I think there's a good chance this comes down. Now, obviously, there's a battle between the buyers and sellers. The buyers are in this area, and there's some sellers around about the 70. So that might be why it's doing a little bit of sideways stuff. But if this does push below the EMA and retest, I think it will come down strong because I think it's relatively clear if it does that. I might have to dig out my Christmas hat tomorrow. I've got a Christmas hat with a built-in beard somewhere. Yeah, look how nice that. Look, perfect touch. 3 perfect touches. Perfect touch, perfect touch. It doesn't get any clearer than that. Big bearish bar right off the top. But while we've got these orders here, I would have to be careful. But I have a sneaking feeling this might do something like this. It looks very similar. Push down, pull back, and then a drop. But I guarantee if I just went short there, it'd come and stop me out. So hit some buyers. Is that enough? There's still some more there. A little bit lower now. At about 2. In fact, quite a bit lower. Now, is this starting to look like it's going to drop? Maybe. So I'll be looking for those aggressive sellers to climb quickly. They are starting to look like it. There's a few seconds behind this is. Run alive. Good on you, mate. Yeah, I mean, from a Pat's point of view, there's no setup there for us. It's clearly congested at the top. Even though we've got a fair idea where prices may go, there's no guarantees. But once those 2 bars came and it started to push, but we know we've got some buyers here. So my guess is it's probably going to pull back a bit, but I still think this is going to go down. Yeah, it's amazing how many times it'll come back, hit your stop and carry on down. They know a lot of traders move to break even, don't they? And a lot of times it does do that. I think this will just drop. I'm hoping we get a little bit of maybe a lower higher, but I don't think we will. It may have a comeback and try and test this. But this to me is starting to look like it's about to just come down, and I think it'll come down quite quick. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do here. If it's coming down like this, we may get an opportunity here. But look, once it starts to go, it becomes quite obvious, doesn't it? Stop to the EMA. You may get away with it there because this is looking quite clearly obvious that it's coming down. So it may come down. I'd say if it's gonna slow down, it's probably going to slow down somewhere around about there. So hopefully it's struggling to get up. My guess is going to come down and it may back up a little bit or slow down there. That would kind of be the the next obvious place. You just never know. There's orders at 65. Get rid of this now. 65 is there, so it could back up a little bit. As it's struggling to go anywhere, I think it's going to come straight down to that level there. Hello? Hello? You all right? Hey? I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me just a second. Let me just... Damn. I've been designated driver. Wife's dropping me, daughter off. I got to pick her up on the way back. Can you see this? We're working down in this tunnel here. So if we can get a pullback to this 63 area, where the EMA is, then we may get a good chance coming down. Very similar to what we did here, but it's very similar. We come up quite sharp and a little bit of sideways and up to the top, a little bit of congestion, then we drop. Very similar. So if we can get a bit of a pullback here, we may get lucky. But if this is looking quite obvious that it's coming down, sellers just might think, let's just sell it. It's hard to say. But you see that top there? You see what's happened? We've stopped there. We've crossed across right on that level there. So it's a good idea if you can get into these. You can see if you look left where there are areas where price may slow down, or where, let's call it, where traders will be taking profits, because we get these kind of, you can clearly see there's resistance there, which often becomes support. So we've had a small pullback, but because this is quite obviously like this, my guess is it could just drop, which is frustrating really, because we want a bit of a pullback. We live in hope. We have got orders at 62.5 and 63, but they're not super strong. There's 2.5 and 63. Come on, come back for us. Oh, damn it. I was looking forward to having a couple of these. My wife beat me to it. I can't argue with her. More than my life's worth. Wives have got to win, haven't they? I've got to that stage in life where I just nod and go, yes, dear. It's not worth arguing with them. So, yeah, kind of how I thought prices would work. Come on, I'll pull back. It's relatively clear, isn't it? Mind you, I say that sometimes. I think I should trust things a little bit more than I do. But I still have that little paranoid bit in me, and I think it's the fact that I've been married for too long. It's quite clear there, isn't it, really? We got two legs up, two legs down, two legs up. You'd expect a break and a leg down, but as this is relatively clear, if I was selling up here and I thought prices were going to come down to there, and I was the type of trader which would add to positions, that is kind of where I would be adding to a position. It makes sense. As long as your stop stays up here, I think you're relatively safe. So if you add to a position there where you're finding support, what happens? Crosses over. I mean, it barely has a break, and then down it comes. And then obviously you are going to get traders who take profits here, which often, is why we get that little bit of a pullback. But I think that's a relatively clear move, but I'm hoping it does pull back to here, because there you licked me. 62.5. They're just not super strong We are getting a few aggressive buyers, so we may get lucky. Let's just double check this. So it's 62.5, which is there. Let's get rid of that one. Now, there is a break there and a new low, but that doesn't matter too much. As long as we get 2 legs up, that's fine. That happens all the time. I still see Mac taking trades, channel break, new low, 2 attempts to push higher. He'll take a trade short, regardless of whether we... I want to see a second. You're all about having a long, are you? I hope you go long, because then I can short you and use your stop as my momentum. You never know. I mean, it is kind of holding here. But for me, with what I'm seeing here, we got 2 legs up, 2 legs down, 2 legs up. I'd expect 2 legs down. It's interesting how that bounced right off that midline. And now it started creating support. Support at previous resistance. So I'm still in favour of this thing coming down. But I have been known to be wrong. So we're coming into some sellers now, up as much as 65, which is 65 and below. Slightly here, I would say. Hopefully it doesn't push up too high. There's our low. So here's our 50% level here, which we're kind of in the middle of that 50 stroke 61.8 level. So this is where I'd expect things to turn if they're going to. We'll see. Sean, how you doing, buddy? I didn't see you there, mate. Sorry. My apologies. Now that's interesting. Okay, second entry short or a lower high, which is kind of a second entry short, actually. So that's where I expected it to happen. So now there's no guarantees, of course, because we have had a small break from this channel, but that's okay. Both trends are played out. Yeah, that one has. Smaller one. There's a small one there. Depends how you look at it. I tend to kind of draw them like that, really. Just kind of get the most sort of even touches. I mean, my honest... Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. It definitely looks like a range. Now, we had a push down and we pulled back a bit. We went a bit sideways and we dropped. We came down, we pulled back a bit. Is this going sideways? My thought process is this is likely to come down. But that can change. Now, I don't quite know how this works, but if you look on this side, I'm not quite sure. I think this is more of a blown out, bigger version. So, yeah, he's got 75 on here, which is out of the picture. So there's a lot of orders around this area. I'm going to purchase this after Christmas because a lot of this doesn't quite make sense. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but there's buyers at 324. Sorry. That's not right. Down here anyway, maybe 56-ish, 55-ish. Down here, 55, 56. It's hard to see these because I can't zoom out properly. 55, 56 here. So it's not super clear, is it? I'm gonna get this. In fact, I think it's on offer. Actually, I think it's on offer for 3 months, half price for 3 months. I want the Global Plus because I want this. This is $100 a month. I was gonna have a chat to you, Sean. You were talking about Vlad's Discord. He's only got 100 places for some reason. I know you were saying, because you're Asia way, aren't you, that $50 a month is quite a large amount to you. It's about $200, isn't it? Something like that, which is quite a lot. So I was going to suggest, mate, if you're interested, and I can get you in, that I pay for you. $50 to me is about £35 UK, which is not a huge amount. So if you want to get in, I'd pay for you, mate, if you want. That's if you can get in. There's only 100 places. But if you can get in, I don't mind paying for you, mate. It's not a huge amount, that, but to you, where you are with your exchange rate, it's a large amount, isn't it? So if you want, mate, let me know. Okay, Mr. Ball. See, that Mr. Balls, isn't that the guy he calls Ulysses, isn't it? I like him. He's a nice guy. He comes over as nice. I think Vlad's a bit of a strange one. A lot of people really like him, but he comes over as a bit odd. Very loud, very brash, very cocky, which is strange. But from what I've heard from Marco, I messaged Marco the night after that stream, and he said he's not usually like that. He's usually quite calm, which is, we're talking chalk and cheese, aren't you? Aren't we? So it's hard to say, really. Yeah, he's just a bit, he comes over as a bit odd, isn't he? It might be. I mean, he keeps going. He's tiny, isn't he? I think. Did he say he's about 10 stone or something like 100? Did he say it was something like about 120, 30 pounds or something like that? So he's about 9 or 10 stone. So he must be really tiny. So some people have that kind of little guy syndrome, don't they? Where they kind of compensate for size and what's it with. But Marco said he's not usually like that. Strange. Lance, how are you watching for the payment opportunity? I messaged him and said, where did I message him earlier? There's not much chit chat here, but I messaged him earlier. There we go. Let's have a look. I put Discord paid. Yes, the Discord paid version. He said, "Oh, it's not set up yet." I put, "When it is, let me know." But they're only having 100 slots, so I'm not really too fussed. You know, I'm quite happy with what I'm doing. What's going on there? That's a strange one. Oh, I've just sorry. I'm not too major fussed if I can't get in there. I'm not too major fussed. Love you. See you later. I'm not too mega fussed. Okay, so second entry short there. I would wait for the lower high below the EMA. So yeah, I mean, he'll let me know, or Marco will let me know. Put it this way. I was going to suggest if you know, if I put a little advert on my stream, he might do it a bit cheaper for you guys. But if they've only got 100 slots, doesn't sound like he'd be really bothered either way. So channel break, new high. I don't want to go short here just in case it comes up and tests this area because I can see orders around about the 67 up here. So I prefer the lower high, to be honest with you. Yeah, I can't drink anymore. I'm on pick me daughter up driving duties later. She's just gone out for a bit. Did you really listen to Vlad? Yes, I did, mate. The trouble is, you never know quite what you're going to get. I didn't know whether he was going to show charts or whatever, so I think I went to 4 hours and then I had enough then. But you don't know, well, I thought he might start breaking charts out. I never saw a single chart of his. He doesn't strike me as very tech savvy, and I was quite surprised that he did this kind of this kind of chat without any kind of evidence or charts to discuss. It was kind of a bit weird. It was it was. It was, mate, to be fair. In the end, I didn't want to be rude, but if you remember, I said, I got to go. I got to pick up my daughter. I hadn't. I was tired because it was getting late in the evening. I just thought, I've heard enough. I've heard enough. Sacred geometry, yeah. He talks about a lot of things. Look, at the end of the day, if you're going to talk stuff like this, you need to provide, move that up, you need to provide some kind of chart evidence, don't you, to what you're talking about? Because he was trying to explain things on someone else's chart that he couldn't move, which wasn't clear. So it wasn't the best example of if you're going to have a presentation like that, you've got to be a little bit prepared. But he did say he didn't do social media or anything like that. So my guess is he probably hasn't got a clue about Discord. I used to find Discord a bit scary, to be honest with you. I'm just going to open a short
Order
just
submitted.
in case. We've got a channel break new one. We're back to the MA. If we can get a pullback here, I may go short because we've got 2 legs up, 2 legs down, 2 legs up. I'm hoping we get 2 legs down, but there's always the possibility it could come up. We've got orders at 65, which is there. So we may click these orders and get a lower high. So I'm sitting and waiting now. Let me just double check there isn't some kind of a larger channel there. It's possible, but I'm not sure. Not only that, if we do, you'd expect it to come down and test this area. If you're going to go long there, I would be vulnerable there, or I'd expect it. So I don't know really. It doesn't look like it's doing what I think anyway, but maybe it'll hit these sellers here. So these sellers are round about the, let's put it there. Let's say 65.5 here. But there are some around about 61, 62, which is here. So maybe this thing's going to push below there and here. Let's get rid of this.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, I have got rid of my time scale now. I used to finish trading at 6:30. I've stopped that now because for some reason it wouldn't let me trade the other day, and I don't kind of know why. Let's just check
Order
up locally.
submitted.
I can.
Order cancelled.
It wouldn't let. I think it was, if I remember right, I wrote it down. Yeah, it was 17:55. So 5:55. All of a sudden, I looked on the stream. These went from being highlighted to being greyed out, and I don't know why. So I went into my settings and I got rid of my trading time scale from what time I can start because it doesn't really matter too much. I've still got my 1 loss and I'm out, so it doesn't really matter whether I trade what time really. If I take a loss, I'm out anyway. So that's the only thing I can think of. But I checked it; it's saying 6:30, and for some reason at 5:55 it killed me out. It stopped me from taking a trade. So let's have a look. So channel break pushes to a new high. Now that looks vulnerable, doesn't it? There are orders right up to 70. This is probably the easy way of doing it. So 70 is the top line, down to around about maybe 66-ish, which is there. So there are sellers here again. So leg down, 2 legs up, and then maybe down. Who knows? It's been quite swingy and quite choppy. It's not the easiest day to trade, to be honest with you. It's supposed to have a break and a new high. Which channel are you on about? See, that one has. That one has. This one has. Okay, channel break, 2 pushes. Now, why is this all of a sudden? Is everything working? Okay, so we got orders down here about 61, which is there. So I can't go short here, unfortunately, because we're in a bit of a tunnel here. Orders above, orders below. Let me clean some of this up a minute. Sorry, not that one. I'm in a bit of a tunnel here. I was of the impression that this was likely to come down, but now I'm not so sure. There are orders around about the 61.5, which is about there, and that would take out that long, possibly that long. But is it enough to come down? I'm not so sure at the moment. It's a bit choppy in it. Up, down, up, down. If we had orders down here, I may consider something here, but the strongest orders I can see are at 60, which is a little bit too close for comfort. There's buyers there, so maybe a couple of legs down this could push up. So I'm just sitting on the fence here. I'm not too sure how I feel. So let's have a quick look at this. Leg down, 2 legs up. Still a bit congested here. That chart. Yeah, there's quite a bunch of buy orders here. See that pullback? It's gone up quite high. If it had been around here, it wouldn't have been so bad, but I don't know here. So it's gone down. Click some buyers here. There are some more down here at 60, a little bit below. Can't trade in this really. Even if we break above this for a lower high, it's just too choppy up and down. You go short here, it may push up to the top, stop you out. Sellers 65 to 63. So there are sellers there, which is interesting. Unfortunately, it never triggered, even if you wanted to, but there's not much I can do at the moment. So can you see what's happening on Bookmap now? We're starting to be funneled into what looks like a move down. So I'm looking for a pullback here because I know there's sellers there. And if you want to sell this market, you wait for it to pull back here, don't you? For this second leg down. Not an easy day today, that's for certain. So 63 and above. So for me, if you can get into this area, you may call that a triple test. So these are these sellers. Okay, see these sellers here in this area, probably up here. So right up as far as 70. So, so you may argue there's a triple test there. Trouble is, 7 and above. There's too many sell orders here above it. So about 7 and above. There's sell orders up here, right up to 70. So I can't get involved in here because my guess is going to try and test these highs here. So that is a possibility. No entry there, even if you wanted to. So looking on that 10,000 tick chart, channel with a break Nulo, we've had 2 legs up, a retest of the highs. Is this coming down now? It's hard to say. 1, 2, 3. It's not clear, is it? Some days we just get, it just don't make sense. So if this is valid, bottom, top, bottom, we've made multiple attempts to push up. So I think if this is valid, this is likely to have a break here. And then it may push up. So it may have a leg down with a few attempts high and a second leg down. It's hard to say. It's not super clear. It's a bit of a difficult day. It's swinging a lot. It is a difficult day, isn't it? It happens sometimes. We've had a few of them lately. This week hasn't been brilliant, but we didn't quite get into this area here, did we? We've made a few attempts. You don't know when it's going to come back, and then encourage buyers to try and take it up a bit further. But whenever we have that off the top, we've clearly made 3 attempts. We can't even get past that midline, really. So my guess is, I think there's a fair chance we get something like this. Takes down to 55. Have we got anything at 55? Not as yet. There's a few. 56.25 is probably the obvious ones. Around about here, there are buy orders. So we're clearly not getting up there. So my gut feeling is this comes down. There's still a lot of buy orders up here. Let's call it 4 and up. Sorry, sell orders to 67. So kind of looks like a possible second entry short here. Bounce, bounce. We've broken the highs. You think now we tackle the lows. There could be a second entry short there. Trouble is, it is kind of a triple test with a lower high. There's going to be traders trapped there and possibly there, I think. Trouble is with these sellers in here, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. So there is a lower high there. Now that may work, but we've got a ton of sellers up here. Taylor's describing it well. Bring down. We clearly got triple test, so it does look like this may come down. He hasn't got this channel up. I'm a bit on the fence about it. Now, it hasn't triggered, but it has pushed up. So that's the issue I have with these sellers here. If you take a short here, see these bunch of sellers here. There's some down at 60 down here, but there's way more up here. So I think there's a fair chance this thing may come down, but while all these strong sellers here, I can't get in down here. You on about this? Yeah, this is what I've got at the moment, mate. We got touch, 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 touch. So yeah, I'd agree. I find yesterday and today to be tough trade. It is, yeah. But what it is also, and keep this in mind, what it is also is a great exercise on patience. If you could sit here 3 or 4 hours per day and not take a trade, that's a real plus. Sometimes trading's like that. You know, was it last week or week before last? I took 2 trades in the space of 5 minutes. I haven't taken 2 trades all week. So if you get an average of 2 clear winning trades a week, you can earn plenty of money. You don't need to do a lot. So I'd rather sit here until I think I like that and then get in. But today, I haven't seen anything. Marco never took anything yesterday, and he said I haven't even seen anything in hindsight so where are we now? Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday, there's been nothing. Tuesday, I got into a trade, which turned out to be a good trade. Market spiked a little bit, and that unnerved me. So I got out for a plus a tick, but that would have worked. So I would have been up 1 trade. But sometimes it's just, it is what it is. So you're saying you're over trading. If you're making money, it doesn't matter so much. Some people make more trades. Some people see a trade and take it. I kind of wait for something more obvious because I hate taking losses. So I'd rather take less trades, less losses, and have a kind of higher win rate. Some people just play the numbers. You know, if you're taking more trades, as long as you know what you're doing, you know, some people take 4, 5, 6 trades a day. Some people take 10, 20 trades a day. Depends on your style. But as long as you don't mind taking the losses and you're just playing the numbers, if you're profitable, you're doing it right. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you're profitable, you're doing it right. You're taking 5 minimum, sometimes a dozen. Depends if you're winning most of them. If you're making profit, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's working for you. But I'm a coward. I still don't like taking losses. I don't know if you ever truly. I don't think no one likes them. Surely no one wants to lose money, do they? But I think it's more important to think about how much you're making over the week or the month rather than how much you're making on a particular trade. You know, well, I've got a feeling there's a good chance this thing is just going to launch above all this because we're clearly finding something here. I'm going to go up to 6 o'clock UK time, about another 15 minutes, I think, and then I am done for the day. 3:15. So I've done about 3.5 hours today. I usually do a bit more earlier on, but I didn't get here till a bit late. I was up most of the night watching the cricket, so I got up at 4 o'clock, and I haven't been to bed since, so I am quite knackered. So Friday tomorrow, this may be my quietest week for a long time. Some days they may be, some weeks they may be quiet. You may do 3 or 4 trades in a week and win them all and be up nicely. So you're gonna get swings and roundabouts. Yeah, it does. Trouble is, because we're working up like this, it's hard to know what's going to happen here, whether it's going to bounce and come down or whether it's going to work up. The topmost orders I can see here are at 70, which is there, which would be above everything, or previous liquidity. I have a feeling we may get there. We've had 2 legs up. We're clearly going sideways, but we do seem to be respecting this line. So it's hard to tell. This thing could absolutely drop. We've got orders all over here, so I don't know really. This is just a no trade zone for me. I've got a clue what's going on. I can tell you what's happened, but whether it's going to push out the top or what, I don't know. But the top line I can see here, there are sellers around here, and there are buyers around here. So we're in a bit of this tunnel, I think. Hideous risks come with veterans. I suppose if you're a veteran and you've been in war situations, nothing in Civvy Street, what they call over here, really frightens you, I think, does it? Yeah, if you've been in kind of war situations and you've, seen some tough things and you've already had the experience in the trading, generally, I don't know if they call it Civvy Street over there. They do here, basically. Civvy Street, they just call it civilians after they come out of the military. But when you've been in situations like that, you're not really frightened of much. You've faced some of the worst situations in your life. Everyday stuff tends to just not phase you. That might be kind of why you're a bit of a chicken like me. Yeah, I am. I don't mind admitting it still nerves me getting into trades. It's not as bad as it used to be. I am, relaxing a little bit more. I don't get that kind of a nervous, excited feeling anymore. It starts to get more boring and mundane, which is a good thing, I think. Yeah, so Taylor's got that on his second chart. So basically, same as me. It's trying to get up. You never know whether we're going to have this leg down a bunch of times to get up and then another big leg down, or whether it's eventually going to break through the top. Based on what I'm seeing here, I'd say it's got a good chance of. But we've been up here before. We got up here, came back, up here, came back, up here, came back. So, we can clearly see it's making attempts. Sometimes it just can't get up there, and then it'll turn. But I have a sneaking feeling this time maybe a bit different. Look at those big sellers there, big aggressive sellers. See, that's gone up to 2 odd million, that's more than double those aggressive buyers that are buying now. So once we get into this zone here, once we get above these areas, it'll get a bit easier, I think. You will die. I'll short the first bit. Semperfi, isn't that the motto of the is it Marines, is it? I think it's the Marines. And I only know that from watching NCIS. But we were a military family for years. My dad, who was killed in Belfast when I was just a young lad, he was in the light infantry military. My stepdad was light infantry. another one no longer with us, died in his 40s. Heart attack, had problems with circulation in his legs. So I had an uncle who was a lieutenant colonel in the military as well. I actually liked the life I did as a kid, moving around all, various places around the world, never living anywhere longer than 2 years. I loved it. We'd get the MFO boxes out, all pack and all disappear together. I love the life I did. This is so slow, isn't it? What time did this lot start? About 20 past 5. So 40 minutes we've done that. I think we're more likely to get above here. Whether we pull back of it first, I don't know. In fact, I'm going to leave it there, folks, actually. I've done basically 3.5 hours. It's been a slow day, to be fair, and I'm getting a bit hungry now. So there's nothing I can do here. I wouldn't short up here anyway because it looks like it's going up here. But there you go. So I'm going to leave you folks to it. It's been a really quiet week. Quietest week I've had. Not a lot of price action today, really. Same as yesterday. A lot of areas of chop and just, no kind of clear. We push up here, pull back. It actually came right the way back to the low. So it's really choppy. I don't know. Maybe it's the time of year. Who knows? But I'm going to leave you guys to it. I think this looks like it's on its way up. 69 we've got here, and that'll get us above this and then possibly the rest. So my guess is it's probably going to flow up now. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So I appreciate your company. I'll be back tomorrow, Friday, last day of the week, and we'll do it all again. So have a great evening. Stay safe. We'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.